Round 3 of a league with mono white martyr. This is a fascinating hand. We would like one more mana. If that Serra was a mana, this is an incredible hand. As of now, it's keepable because of the Gideon. So we will keep it. We're 2-0 right now. Wins over tokens and shadow. Our opponent mulls to 6 and scries to the top. We are on the play, so we'll start with the plains and pass. Opponent starts with a Botanical Sanctum into an Ancient Stirrings. Interesting there. Puts an Ensnaring Bridge into their hand. So this is a prison deck. We hate to say it, but this is a prison deck. We really like having the Gideon now. They Stirrings again. We're in for a long one here, as a game 1 against a prison deck is going to be very difficult for us. They cast the Mox Opal, cast a Bauble, cast a Spire, and another Stirrings. That is a really strong start for our opponent, with 3 Ancient Stirrings in the first 2 turns. We will see how consistently they're able to play here. But 3 Stirrings in the opening hand is really going to be tough for us to overcome. There's a Welding Jar, and they cast it right away. So we will then right away. We're going to force them to cast the Ensnaring Bridge, but instead of casting the Gideon here, we're going to get a Serra out as quickly as possible and a bunch of life. Not that life is relevant in this matchup, but we will have a Serra online right away. And they need it is unlikely they don't have the 3rd land. Oh, sorry, they have a Mox Opal anyways. What am I talking about? I was like, they need a 3rd land for Ensnaring Bridge. Nope, Mox Opal takes care of that really easily. And they just slam it down right away. So we can't attack now. We can cast a Gideon though. And we will make Mishra's Bauble not deal any damage. Let's get right to their turn. Tolaria West comes down. So they're hitting all their key lands here. We do want to Chalice on 1. Emblem. We are going to sack Spire, make them sack Spire of Industry here. We don't want them. We don't want to give them the ability to transmute Talaria West by putting it back in their hand. We want to make sure they do stuff with Mox Opal. We're in for a grindy game here. We're going to be sitting around watching it. Witchbane Orb. Destroy all curses. They have hexproof. Still 2 cards. Got a Ranger here. And we're going to get a Walking Ballista and a Martyr. And a Martyr. There it is. Chalice can't deal us damage. And pass. We're a little slow to make our plays here, which is going to hurt us in the long run. We need to keep their clock ahead of ours, or behind ours, I should say, in time. Very difficult to do that consistently, unless they take turns like this. Very happy with the Gideon. Very happy with the Ballista. Because they do have hexproof. So Ballista is only so good. Chalice on 2. Tech Edge. Tech Edge should take our Emeria. It takes our Mistveil Plains. That... I don't know if our opponent knows what our Emeria does, and that's why they take the Mistveil Plains there. It's an unfortunate situation, but we're happy to see it happen. Damping Sphere, automatically countered. Their hand is empty. Mistveil Plains. Uptick Gideon. And pass the turn. So now it's just kind of watching each other play Magic. Another welding jar. Breaks their own Mox Opal. Casting Sorcerer's Spyglass into their own Chalice. I actually haven't logged a lot of games against this deck, so it'll be interesting to see what they're capable of. We can just start gaining tons of life with Proclamation. We have enough mana. But we honestly want to be more careful with our time. Run a Martyr into their Chalice. Trying to keep the clock in front of us by not actually playing cards. We're 1 plains away from Emeria, so we have to be careful. We can't play it until the time is on our side, because it does trigger every turn. Searching their library for an artifact. It's Crucible. So they will start crucibling us out of the game with Tech Edge. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. So, like, hear me. I know a lot of people hate my deck. I'm not naive. I get that. This seems unbearable to play against. Could have attacked there. Gonna start mulling me out, but can't really do anything unless they're able to get my Gideon of Trials off of the battlefield. EE on 3. Mill me for some number. We'll discard a Proclamation. We're a little bit under control with the time. We're up by 50 seconds. 50 seconds is not a lot. It's not comfortable, but it gets there. We just really need them to blow up that EE. Chalice gets countered by Chalice. Do I still have a Mistveil Plains somewhere in the deck? I think I do. So now they will be much more want to blow up my EE. I'm just going to keep targeting it to signal like, hey, pop this. Hypnu Rivulet is the card they're milling us with. It does say target player. So there you go. Our opponent is taking some time to make this decision. Will our opponent blow up their EV? Their EV. There's the EE. You know, I don't think I have a Stony Silence. It doesn't really matter here, but it also does. They can't play EE on 1. So there's that. We're up by 2 minutes now, so now we can start Mistveil Plainsing. The more we stall our opponent, the happier we are. Because honestly, against this deck, we feel no guilt in clocking them. And our opponent is considering. So the more we can make our opponent make considery choices, the happier we are. Putting down Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. They somehow lost their Ensnaring Bridge? Don't know how they lost their Ensnaring Bridge, but not attacking feels bad. How did they lose their... Oh, they EE'd it. EE on 3 killed their Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, that was silly. Tolaria West. Tormod's Crypt. Sure. Blow up our dang graveyard. Blow it up. See if I care. opponent's down to 13, sorry, just under 14 minutes. Playing Academy Ruins. We'll Ghost Quarter the Glimmer Void. Put Ghost Quarter back on the bottom of our library. We want to make sure they really have to mill us. In paper, I would have conceded by now. Let's be clear. Here comes the tech edge on our Mistveil Plains. Float white. Our opponent is officially, I don't know why I did the Avacyn, maybe to get them to do something, because I can't kill them with Avacyns. I need to get rid of the Witchbane Orb, which I can't really do with the Welding Jars. It would have been nice to see them. Okay. It would have been nice to see them crack more of the Welding Jars, if we're being really honest. Yeah. Our opponent has officially eclipsed the halfway mark. What are they putting? They're putting back Welding Jar. Another Welding Jar. Opponent has, like I was saying, our opponent has officially eclipsed the halfway mark, so they need to beat us quickly. They're going to do that with Rivulet. Here's the Whir for 2. To get Sorcerer's Spyglass, naming Mistveil Plains, I would imagine. This deck is just so much different to play here than in person. It really limits their our ability to it really, sorry, I'm a little mumbly, it's a little tiring, and I'm a little grinded. The deck doesn't do much, honestly. So in paper, yeah, I would have had to scoop ages ago, but I'm happy to just let my opponent do their thing. They put EE on the battlefield finally. I need to get them to cast that EE for a number that is not 3. I was all happy-go-lucky to tap the Mistveil Plains, and then I'm like, undo, undo! Sorcerer Spyglass stops me from doing that. I'm down to 8 cards in hand. They get a Squadron Hawk. They get a Ghostly Prison. None of those matter. New Rivulet. Gotta cast something here, or else I hit you for 3. Bottled Cloister. Oh, just really good in terms of at the beginning of each upkeep. Just exile your hand. That's a good card, if we're being very honest. They have a bunch of bottling jars. Opponent will be down to 10. They kind of have to play the EE. They don't have the EE. But they have an EE in hand. Don't know why they're not playing it. It actually really stresses me out that they're not playing the EE. I want to know. Here's the New Rivulet. Mills us. Then the EE. I want that one. Rivulet Mills. Probably shouldn't have tapped out. EE, which they can't cast yet. Do we have them? Do we have them here? Because of Mistveil Plains. They can't do Ipnu and Tech Edge at the same time. So as long as we're always putting back a Mistveil Plains, we're fine. Regenerate Bridge. Oh no, wait, never mind. We're dead. Mistveil Plains is Sorcerer Spyglass. We're dead. Whoopsie. So our opponent has 8 mana, 8 minutes to kill us. Whew. Whir Prison is a prison deck. We're gonna put Hex Parasite in to get those Crucibles out of the way. Sun Titan seems good. Elspeth is terrible. Castouts are great. Disenchants are great. Rest in Peace is great. Ruined Halo is great. Walking Ballista is not good. Sun Titan for the castouts is fine. Archangel deals direct damage. Cleansing Nova, Hallowed Burial. We don't need any real wraths. We do need Cleansing Nova though. Serra is going to get us nowhere. Serra is only going to be really good in the early game, so we'll keep 2 in just in case. Kami is pointless. Ghostly Prison is mostly pointless. Proc, we have Rest in Pieces, so we won't be playing procs. Ranger is, I mean, fine. Let's take out Martyr, and let's take out a Ranger. I don't know if that's correct, but it has a lot of removal, so we're happy. This is actually the first time I have played the Whir Prison deck, and in paper, I get to my sideboard a lot faster. Here and online, we are just, you know, biding our time until our opponent times out or we time out. We have the time advantage now, so there's that. We will play. This has a Disenchant, it has some paths, it has a Squadron Hawk. The paths are useless. I don't know why we didn't side out more paths. This is functionally the same hand, so we'll keep it. Proc can go to the bottom. We don't need a Proc. Why didn't we side out more paths? That's a mistake on our part. Del Stirrings. There's a greedy play here to just disenchant that Stirrings, that Mishra's Bauble, I mean, to get rid of, I don't know, doesn't matter now. Oh no! If we had known our opponent was going to crack Bobble, we might just leave up the Disenchant and blow them out with Glimmer Void. That was Stirrings. Mox Opal. Spire. They take one. EE own one. So now we see why we keep the paths in some number. Because they're about to EE to try to 1-for-1 us. And they're going to lose life to do it. Oh no. Teleria was. For an Adventure's Fair. Ranger of Eos, Ranger of Eos, Ranger of Eos gets Martyr Ballista. Our opponent can't find an Ensnaring Bridge. There it is. There's the Ensnaring Bridge. Our opponent blows up the EE. 6 minutes left for our opponent. They'll gain some life. We really want that Welding Jar off the battlefield. Welding Jar annoys me. And this is why we keep Stony Silence in. Chalice on 1. We can disenchant a Chalice on 1. If we're being perfectly honest, we can just disenchant that. Crucible. Teleria West. Our opponent is down to 5.5 minutes. Did our opponent side out the Witchbane Orb? On Mordigo. Choose a card name. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. What do they choose though? I guess we try to show them the Disenchant. Try to lure them to take a Disenchant. They get to see everything now. They'll get to see that our answers are cast out and Cleansing Nova. And they choose Cleansing Nova. That's baller. They'll get to see that cast out was the better call. Please keep hurting yourself. You get the welding jar back. They'll cast it. They'll also cast Psy. Open Gangnam style. Oh, that's right. You ever get to a game of Magic and it just doesn't feel fun anymore? There's 3.5 minutes to establish a win condition that we can answer. There's a Witchbane Orb. Precious seconds tick down. Opponent is at 3 minutes. That Archangel is going to blow out our opponent pretty well. Opponent has 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Inventor's Fair gets a Jester's Cap. I'm not entirely sure what that does. Exile 3 cards. Okay. That's a really good way to answer my cast outs. Ugh. Blah. 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 What you looking for? That's going to take some time to find in theory. Minute and a half left for our opponent. It just seems unlikely that they get there in time. Hey man, don't blame me. Down to a minute. Here's where they politely ask me to concede, and I politely say no. What did you exile? Cast out, a Crucible, and a Gideon. They did not choose to exile all of my cast outs. Interesting. "55 seconds left for our opponent." And they've reached the point where now they're just passing to us relentlessly. Academy ruins. Chalice on one. How about a rip? Can we get a rip in the chat? Let's get the runs out here. With 20 seconds left, that should seal the deal. What a mind-numbing matchup. Jester's Cap. Exile. And they concede to us. I will never yuck somebody's yum. I play a grindy, jank, tier 4, 5, 6 control deck. But man, that is not fun to play against online. I can see why it's great in paper. That is a good way to get your opponent to concede to you in paper. Just start playing a couple cards and they will concede. But online, that seems rough. So we break even here. We are 3-0 in this league. Get our money back in ticket form. And try to earn a 5-0 here. Let's hope we never play against that again for the rest of our life. See you in the next one.